always want to do is wipe the top.
Yeah.
Because if you don't wipe the top, all the bacteria on the stopper for the vial gets injected into the medication and it starts to grow. So then you could inject yourself with bacteria and it can cause an infection. You do not want that.
Oh, you're recording like the whole spiel.
Yeah.
This medication is very viscous, as you can tell. It's actually mixed with
Sesame seed oil.
Yeah, sesame seed oil. So it is an oil. So you don't want to use anything smaller than a 23 gauge. I just prefer the 22 gauges because that's what I basically grew up with, I guess you could say. So you'll want a 3 ml syringe. What is the dose? Oh, you're only getting 0.2 mils, so that might be a little too big. So if you, for a dose that's under 1 mil, you use a 1 mil syringe. If you go up to 1 mil, don't use a 1 mil syringe. Because the 1 mil syringe is very small, it's unforgiving, and as you pull it out and get to that 1, if you pull back a little bit further, it falls apart. So once you get up to higher doses, switch to the 3 mil. But since you're on a low dose right now, you just put it in like this, and you're ready to go.
It's so pretty.
So almost all needles now come with this piece here.
What is that piece for?
I'll show you when I'm done with it.
Okay.
Don't be afraid of this needle. I'll show you
That's
how,
the withdrawal needle.
Yes.
Yeah.
This
That's
is the
fucking huge.
It's huge. So I use a large withdraw needle to draw them. Otherwise, it takes like
Forever.
5 minutes to draw the medication out. So I use an 18 gauge to withdraw the medication. So, as you can see, you just wipe that, give it a second to dry. Then you want to pull back to the same dose that you're going to be giving yourself. You want to inject the air into the vial, then tip it, and you'll see the medication flows in very easily with a large needle.
Oh, wow.
It's very fast. And then you go back to 2 mils. And then I'll show you this.
Oh, it's to cover it.
So I always avoid pushing the cap so that I don't accidentally slip and poke my finger. I'll use a surface and just press it. So I'm going to change the needle. Anytime you're going to change a needle, pull back on the plunger to withdraw the medication that's in the needle so that you get your full dose. And then get your second one ready. And twist off. Always be careful not to touch, never touch this area here for a needle you're going to use on yourself, because then it introduces bacteria into the needle and you can get an infection.
Fun.
So then before injecting, you want to push the fluid back up to 0.2. And that's called priming the needle. You don't want to inject a bunch of air into the person. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I like your pronoun pin.
Thank you. It's from my home. We wear pronoun pins at my home.
That's awesome.
I have a lot of friends that are non-binary and trans, so it's very important to support them, and I wear a trans flag pin on my jacket at all times when I go out to be supportive. Because I believe that trans people can't hide their identities, but I can hide my support, so I don't want to do that. So everybody knows I support trans people. So then, because I was touching a bunch of stuff, I'm going to wash my hands and put on some new gloves before the injection.
Oh, it's cold.
If you do wear gloves, you want to make sure your hands are extremely dry or you can't put the gloves on.
It sucks.
You cannot put them on. So you have to make sure they're very, very dry.
I'm ready.
So where would you like it? We can put it in the tummy. It's the easiest spot to self-administer.
Yeah.
That or the thighs.
I don't have much meat on my thighs.
Yeah. And then with sub-Q injections, you don't want to be putting it in the same spot each time. It builds up.
This side, this side, this side.
Yeah. So you choose a little square and then you rotate and then you rotate down, making sure to stay 1 inch away from the belly button. So then we just grab this.
Ready to cry like a little bitch?
These.
Yeah.
Little band-aid. Would you prefer laying down or?
Does it, I don't know, does it hurt more than down?
No. Probably not. I think it'd be the same. It shouldn't hurt too bad. I'm gonna move all your stuff over and I'll have you lie down. So you can kind of quarter the stomach into 4 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you just choose a spot. So all you have to do is pinch an inch, and because this needle, you don't have to look. Because this needle is so long, I have to put it in at a 45-degree angle to ensure it doesn't go into the muscle. So once you choose your spot, you just wipe it with some alcohol and give it some time to dry, otherwise the alcohol goes in to the skin and it
like a bitch.
stains. So if you have a shorter syringe, all you have to do is pinch an inch and you can put it in. But because this one is 1 inch long, it'll go through the fatty tissue into the muscle.
Oof.
And then it's not going to hurt you because this medication can be given into the muscle, but it just changes how it's absorbed. So pinch an inch, and then you just stick it in like that. You can draw back to make sure you're not in a vein, and then slowly inject. Withdraw syringe. And then, like I said, you can just pop it like that, or for safety, do it against a firm surface.
I'm a man now! Woohoo!
You're good. You'll notice. You'll notice that the testosterone may give you a bit of a surge in energy.
That sounded like good news.
And there you go. All done.